Hello everyone, welcome to English Gate. Today we're going to learn 7 English word pairs that confuses a lot of English learners. There are a lot of different English words share the same spellings and pronunciations. Some of them are confusing, especially in writing. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 1, lose and loose. Lose and loose. We spell these two words differently, and also we pronounce them differently. But English learners sometimes get confused at lose and loose. Lose has the sound of Z, Z, lose, lose. And it is a verb. That means not to have something anymore, unable to find it, or not to win. For example, I don't want my team to lose the basketball game. I don't want my team to lose the basketball game. He will lose all the money if he gambles with it. He will lose all the money if he gambles with it. But loose has the sound of S. Loose, loose. And it is an adjective. That means something is not tight or unattached. For example, his pants falls off because it is too loose. Or, her feet feel very comfortable inside loose shoes. Number 2, advice and advise. With these two words, we all must have the same spellings and the same meanings, but slightly different in the pronunciation. Advice with the sound of S is a noun. You can give your friend some advice. For example, my father gave me an advice, quote unquote, be your best all the time. Advise with the sound of Z is a verb. You can advise your friend. My father advised me to invest my money carefully. If you noticed, the two words basically have the same meaning, but only different in the pronunciation. Number 3, resign and resign. Resign and resign. These two words have identical spellings, except the hyphen, but opposite meanings. Resign means to quit your job. Resign has the sound of Z. Resign, resign. For example, my boss didn't want to give me a raise, so I decided to resign. Resign has the sound of S. It means to sign a contract again for your current job. Resign, resign. For example, I love my job, so I'll gladly resign for another 2 years. I love my job, so I'll gladly resign for another 2 years. Number 4, altogether, 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 altogether. If you listen carefully, they almost sound the same, but opposite meaning. Altogether is a phrase refers to all the members of a group. It can mean everyone or everything together. It is used for a people of group or object. For example, for a group of people, we went all together to the party. We went all together to the party. For a group of objects, place your books all together so we don't forget them in the morning. Place your books all together so we don't forget them in the morning. But altogether is an adverb. It doesn't refer to a group of people or a group of objects. Let me give you an example. The car went slower and slower until it stopped altogether. The car went slower and slower until it stopped altogether. It means it stopped completely, entirely. Number 5, aloud, aloud. The words aloud and aloud sound identical. and they are confusing for some English beginners. Those who don't pay attention, they might mix them up, and you should know that they totally have different meanings. Aloud refers to sound that can be heard by others, and it is an adverb that means out loud, and not silently. For example, the teacher reads aloud so all the students could hear him. The teacher reads aloud so all the students could hear him. Aloud is the past tense of allow, which means to give permission to somebody to do something. For example, the teacher allowed the student to spend 10 extra minutes for break time. The teacher allowed the students to spend 10 extra minutes for break time. Grandma allowed the kids to eat too much ice cream. Grandma allowed the kids to eat too much ice cream. Number 6. Aisle, aisle. These two words have the same pronunciation, and the only difference in their spelling is one letter. The letter A, that is very important to pay attention to, which it makes a difference. Aisle is a noun, and the S is a silent letter. You don't pronounce it. For example, when John rides on train, he always requests a seat on the aisle. When John rides on train, he always requests a seat on the aisle. That means John likes to sit next to the walkway. Aisle is also a noun, and also the S here is a silent letter. You don't pronounce it. Isle means a land that is surrounded by water and smaller than an island. For example, John wants to take a vacation to a tropical isle. John wants to take a vacation to a tropical isle. Number 7. Alright. Alright. The one word alright and the two words alright. These two have the same meanings, but some people consider the one word alright is incorrect, especially in formal writings, and best to avoid it. Instead, you should use the two words alright because the two words alright is considered correct spellings. If you're texting your friend or your boyfriend or your girlfriend, it's okay. You can write the one word alright. But at the end, they both have the same meanings. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you learned something today. And I'll see you next time.